Alright guys, this is definitely going to be the next big shooter. This genre in general is just amazing, but Fortnite kind of kicks it up. I've had my eye on PUBG for a long time. I was hoping for a port to console, but these guys beat them to the punch. And it didn't just bring the battle arena to console, it also added its own little touch of uniqueness. You can harvest materials in order to make ramps, rooms, towers, really whatever your heart desires as long as you have the materials available. And they managed a very good balance between how much materials you get and what you can build and what you can do with it. It's a very intriguing game because it takes all those strategic things that you see in PUBG when you're facing up to 100 people, that there's just so many different ways to play the game that its replayability is probably endless. If you add some different maps, maybe add vehicles, don't forget you can also buddy up with up to 4 people, or you can go into duos. There's a lot of ways to play this game. When I start doing stuff like this, I feel like the Iceman off of X-Men. You can just make a road anywhere. You can turn these pieces as fast as you can use your controller. On controller, it's a little bit slower for us, but I'm starting to get a hang for it, and let me tell you, it actually feels really good how they did their controls. I've slowed down my aim sensitivity though, because it's a little bit fast in this game and there's no difference when you aim down sights, so just take that into account. If you want to get the most out of this game, you have to be ready to learn how to build, as well as how to use your weapons, because that's the two sides of this game, using the buildings and using the weapons, and these things complement each other. When you have a really good shotgun, you make yourself a room, somebody tries to challenge you, you just blow their head off. There's a lot of ways to play into your strengths of your weapon if you know how to build correctly. The guns also have a very distinct feeling, but there's also some physics problems in this game I found. It's hard to shoot through little openings, like even on wooden walls that you can make. You cannot shoot through some of those little cracks with your weapon, it'll actually just register the whole wall. And that's what I think happened in that engagement. It seemed like the other guy was hitting the railing on the stairs that you're going to see on your right. That was a nice little secret, and you can hear these chests throughout the game levels. And some are a little bit more obvious than others, but I like what they did here, because they not only put loot where you'd expect it, they also hide it to make you work just a little bit harder for it. There's even airdrops that just fall randomly onto the level. If you want to do well in the endgame, having the best guns is obviously going to help you. But you can see how this is one of the regular structures in the map. It's a bridge. But on this part of the bridge, it's actually hollow. Like, they snuck in all these little secret chests, and sometimes in this game when you lose your opening building, it really sucks, because having no gun in this game, let me tell you, it's terrifying. But now we're going to go back into this clip. I'm going to grab this shield, which is the best thing ever. If you ever have 2 shields, a viable strategy is just for you to find some bricks, some steel, and make yourself a box up until the end game, because then more than likely you're going to have the highest health left. If not, you're at least even, but more than likely you're going to have more health than anybody if you can preserve that. Now, this is how this game works though. It's like, while I say that, it's like, nope, you could have also taken the approach where you try to slay more people in order to collect more loot early on. And acquiring loot is a skill in this game. At the beginning of the game, like, I've experimented a lot with being first to drop and just engaging as many people as possible to see how that works to my advantage. It is very risky, but sometimes the rewards are huge because I just get stocked up so fast. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you try to preserve your health. If you find shields, try to run that all the way to the end. And then if you slay one guy, there's a good chance that he's going to have good weapons just because of being a consequence of being one of the last guys alive. So if you get down to the top 10, usually you're going to be able to salvage all the equipment you need from just one kill. So if we can play this game passively, you can play it aggressive. What I think you guys should be focusing on at this time is learning how to build on the fly, and then also trying to get a lot of engagements under your belt and learn how to use the weapons. I think some people are just trying to survive till the end, but a lot of that really just ends up with you running around the map, not really doing too much, just scavenging and avoiding engagements. I don't think that's a good way to learn how to play this game. You want to learn how the guns work, try to get in as many engagements as possible, and then start going for that survivalist mode where you, at least when you need to engage somebody, you're comfortable enough that you're going to be able to get that kill. And that's a skill you're only going to be able to get if you start slaying more and getting yourself out there. And during the beta is the best time to do that, because more than likely, these stats aren't going to count. That's my only trap kill. I don't expect that I'm going to be getting too many of those. I think they kind of stand out, so it's pretty hard to get people to run into it, but every so often I'm sure they're going to work out for you. The main thing you're going to want to do is get a good gun, and this is the best gun in this game. Damn, this gun hits so hard. This is the first time I picked it up and I was just like, damn, It hits like a brick, and it has great stability. Now let's talk a little bit about shooting guns. If you haven't played a game like this, it's a little bit more realistic in the sense that if you try to strafe and shoot, it's going to throw out your accuracy. If you stand still, the aimer is going to get smaller. If you crouch, it's even going to get smaller again. So if you want to take really accurate shots, you can't just be strafing side to side. And this is going to depend more so on how far somebody is. It's also going to depend on how good your gun is. The rarity of the guns is a big deal, but even more important is actually the class of the gun itself. Knowing the ranges for your SMGs, your pistols, your shotguns, and when it comes to shotgun, the pump action shotguns are actually my weapon of choice when it comes to shotguns. It's again that high risk, high reward. You only get one shot, but if you pop them with that, more than likely they're going to go down. It also has more range, and that's what I look for in my shotguns. However, if you have a good full auto, if you get a purple, the tiers go green, blue, purple, and then gold. If you have something on a high tier, try to play around that. If I get a really good shotgun, I'm trying to hit this guy in the head right now. Oh, this gun is absolutely nasty. When you get this gun, you're going to be feeling really comfortable in one-on-one engagements. Now, one of the things I've noticed in this game is that sometimes it is hard to shoot people. If you start spamming your trigger, more than likely you're going to miss. It throws the accuracy way off. If you strafe too much, same thing. So what I've learned is that when someone starts shooting at you, don't just try to strafe. Like, yes, it can work depending on how far they are, but in my experience, you're better off juking them for a second and then engaging them. If you're just trying to run away and there's nothing bothering them, if there's nothing to keep them from spamming them or any kind of pressure, more than likely they're going to gun you down. So don't just expect to live by strafing everywhere. And this is another trick. If you have your pickaxe out, you can just pick up all the ammo without fear of changing out your guns. And let me just take a moment to tell you what we're going to be doing on the channel. Yes, I was MIA for a while. That's because I didn't have a game that I really enjoyed. The last one I really enjoyed was Titanfall. And Destiny was a disappointment, so now I'm going to be moving over to Fortnite. I really enjoy this game, so that's what you guys are going to be seeing. So in the future, I'm going to be showing you guys openers. There's just so much to do with this game, and considering that it's still in beta, like, I'm expecting to see some really cool improvements, and they're probably going to add, I have to imagine they're going to add vehicles somewhere along the way. If not, I'm sure they can add a little bit more to spice things up, but even right now, this game is fun as shit, no joke. You have a really good shooter, the guns feel great, they all have their ranges, there's loot, there's shields, there's hidden treasures, there's the ability to play as a team with 4 other people, you can build forts on your own with somebody else, mazes, towers, you can just build a fence, a really tall wall, you can do whatever you want. So that is why I am going to be playing Fortnite for the next little bit. So whatever I learned, I'm going to be passing on to you. Like the other day, I started to run into the scenario where I needed to go down some pretty big mountains, like not hills anymore, some mountains. And building down, it's like, okay, but you don't want to waste all your materials making ramps for just any reason. I found that if you just find like a sloped area, you don't end up taking fall damage. So you have to end up finding these, what I guess it would be concave slopes, and you're going to be able to survive without losing too much health when you make these drops, or lose no health at all. Let's see, what else? Let me give you this quick tip. When it comes to gathering materials, it's always something I like to do at the beginning of the game where it's low risk. That means that I haven't invested 20 minutes and then got caught chopping a tree and died. Like, that's a terrible way to go once you get to the end game. So I always suggest start getting into the habit of gathering resources before the stakes go up. I have a good idea where he is. This is my first time getting first, and I thought about what if he runs around the shield. Yes, you take damage, but it's really slow, so there is an opportunity to do this trick where you do a huge flank, risk most of your health just to get around to the other person because it's come down to 1v1. There's definitely a lot of strategies that can be used, building structures really high, towers, reinforced areas, making your own head glitch place. That's the beauty of Fortnite, where you can create your own structures. So those are the kind of things that we're going to be picking up in new videos. This is definitely going to be my game for the next month at least. And for those of you who remembered, there is a contest going on the channel. It kind of just took a back seat while I was away, but we are going to be giving something away once I reach 10,000 subscribers. So if you want to get a ticket into that draw, I'm going to be giving away tickets to people who give the best tip or just strategies in regards to this game. If I include your tip or strategy in the next video, then you've earned yourself a ticket. Everyone else, thank you for your support. I'm Paper, cut to you, and I'll see you guys next time.